If you're curious about living in Raleigh, moving to Raleigh, or visiting Raleigh, then this is a great video for you to watch. Because today, I'm going to show you 4 Raleigh neighborhoods, which I think are the coolest areas to live or hang out. And these are areas you definitely need to know about, with easy access to everything Raleigh has to offer. So let's get started. I'm Will Wofford, real estate broker with Berkshire Hathaway, and currently Raleigh is one of the hottest real estate markets in the country. And I can tell you, as a Raleigh native, the 4 neighborhoods I'm going to show you are at the heart of the Raleigh market, and I'm confident each of these areas will remain in high demand going forward. Now, I can tell you, I really do tend to favor neighborhoods with a variety of architectural styles, ample green space, trendy shops, and delicious restaurants. And believe it or not, Raleigh has quite a few of them. But for this video, I've narrowed it down to the 4 I think are worth considering if you're planning to visit Raleigh or you're thinking about calling Raleigh home. 5 Points was named after the point where 5 historic neighborhoods, Bloomsbury, Hayes-Barton, Roanoke Park, Vanguard Park, and Georgetown, all converge at the intersection of Glenwood Avenue, Whitaker Mill Road, and Fairview Road. 5 Points is characterized by an assortment of colorful cottage, craftsman, and bungalow-styled homes that were popular during the neighborhood's early days in the mid-20s and 30s. All 5 of the neighborhoods were platted in the early 1900s, but Bloomsbury and Hayes-Barton were the first to be developed. So I would say the 5 Points neighborhood is characterized by its nostalgic feel and unique architecture. It's dominated with bungalow and craftsman designs and intermingled with churches, parks, tree-lined streets, boutique shops, restaurants, and breweries, blending a traditional historic atmosphere with a creative, artsy vibe that's just minutes away from downtown Raleigh. So I think what makes this a cool neighborhood and a great place to live is its combination of new and old housing options, as well as its built-in attractions. 5 Points has a mix of single-family homes with a few townhomes and condos that come in a variety of styles and price points. Architectural styles range from small cottages and bungalows to craftsman-style homes and the elaborate and grand estate-style homes found in Hayes-Barton. You'll find breweries such as Nickel Point, Neuse River Brewing, and Lone Rider, as well as independent restaurants next to longtime favorites. And the neighborhood has several notable restaurants like the Bloomsbury Cafe, Hayes-Barton Cafe, and Nofu at the Pig, as well as a vintage movie theater called the Realty. So this area has plenty of things to do. Next up is Boylan Heights. Boylan Heights was Raleigh's first planned subdivision, and Boylan Heights is a charming neighborhood with mature tree-lined streets and spacious lots that allow for broad front porches and curved streets that wind all the way down Boylan Avenue. Boylan Heights is located adjacent to the Warehouse District and just below Glenwood South, so you're only a short drive or walk from some of Raleigh's most popular restaurants and nightlife, as well as the Red Hat Amphitheater and the Contemporary Art Museum, or CAM. You'll also find one of Raleigh's most significant homes in Boylan Heights, which is the Mumford House, which was recently restored and converted into a super nice, hip boutique hotel called the Heights House. So I think this would be an amazing place to stay if you want to supercharge your Raleigh trip. Despite being at the edge of downtown, Boylan Heights is a charming neighborhood that's moderately priced if you can find someone that's willing to sell. The architectural styles you'll find in this neighborhood consist mainly of craftsmen and bungalows, with a smaller selection of Queen Anne revivals and Dutch colonials, as well as some townhomes and condos. So I would say this neighborhood has plenty of options for prospective buyers that want to restore an older home. Next up is Glenwood South, which is nestled between Boylan Heights and 5 Points. Glenwood South is a neighborhood that's been built up significantly in the last couple of decades, but this part of town is not for the faint of heart, at least not for the early to bed, early to rise crowd. Residents moved to Glenwood South to be part of the action, as it's the part of town with the largest collection of big city amenities and attractions, lined with restaurants, bars, dance clubs, breweries, and new luxury condominium towers. This neighborhood has its finger on the pulse of Raleigh, but just over 20 years ago, this area was a bunch of abandoned warehouses dominated by a dairy farmers cooperative from the 20s that went on to become Pine State Creamery, which ultimately closed its doors in early 1996. The Pond State Building was one of the first structures to be renovated on what would become Glenwood South and houses office space, bars, and restaurants. So I would say the Pond State Building was actually the catalyst that spurred the area's development. Today, this is the part of Raleigh where creative professionals choose to work, play, and sleep, often walking from one spot to the other. Longtime favorite eateries like 42nd Street Oyster Bar, Char Grill, and the Hibernian Pub have been joined by the Raleigh Beer Garden, which, by the way, is the world record holder for the most beers on tap in any one location at 316 counting. The Carolina Ale House, Clockwork, Sushi Blues, and Morgan Street Food Hall, with more residential units, restaurants, and retail spaces opening, all within a few square blocks. This neighborhood is what I call the entertainment district, and traffic and parking can be a nightmare on the weekends and some weeknights as well. Our next and final stop is the Warehouse District. Raleigh's Warehouse District is an up-and-coming area of Raleigh that's poised to become the next big thing. 6 blocks of red brick industrial warehouses are quickly being transformed into innovative dining destinations, art galleries, and tech companies like Citrix. A game changer for the neighborhood might ultimately be the completion of our train station called Union Station and the recently approved plans for a massive professional sports and entertainment complex that will have up to 21 million square feet of retail and office space and 16,000 apartments. And it's all just down the street. While this area was first eyed as a prime location for nightlife venues, business and real estate developers quickly saw its mixed-use potential and began converting the warehouses into lofts and luxury apartments and condominiums like those at the Fairweather and the Dillon, which was once home to Dillon Supply and sits adjacent to Union Station. Like many renovated warehouse districts around the country, it's attracting an eclectic, diverse group of residents and retailers, like the Raleigh Denim Factory, as well as some amazing independent restaurants like Humble Pie and The Pit, which have been joined by well-regarded eclectic concepts like Fiction Kitchen that serves vegetarian cuisine, and of course I'll save the best for last, the Videri Chocolate Factory, which is an incredible place for coffee and dessert. It's located just across the street from The Pit. And best of all, this area is easily walkable from the Fayetteville Street District, which is a great place to stay if you're planning to visit Raleigh and want to explore the area. Well, I sure hope you enjoyed my video on the Raleigh neighborhoods I thought were the coolest. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me or leave a comment below and let me know which areas of Raleigh you like the best, and I'll see you on the next video.